Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the case may be. This is Marty Grunder from the Grow Group and Grunder Landscaping Company. Today, I have what I think will be a very informative interview. We've got Seth Pflum, our Chief Operating Officer from Grunder Landscaping Company. Many of you have met Seth, many of you may not. Seth has been running alongside of me for almost 8 years, Seth, I think, right?
7 years and 4 months.
7 years and 4 months. I know when you work with Marty, you remember the months.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I can go down to the days, Marty, if you want me to.
I know, I can take it. I'm a lot. You're a lot too. Seth has done just a tremendous job here. He started with us in sales, moved into production, and then in January of 2018, he became our general manager. And last month, he was promoted to the position of Chief Operating Officer. He is running Grunder Landscaping Company, and he's doing a whale of a job. So Seth, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Marty.
And thanks for everything you do for me and my family, putting up with my idiosyncrasies. We've been through a lot, but I have to say I really enjoy working with you. It's a pleasure. Let's get into the interview here because we want to make this quick and we want to try to bring a lot of value. Seth, this season hasn't been like last season, and it really hasn't been like any season we've faced before. We're operating differently, and in many ways, GLC has learned some new ways to work. Why don't you expand a little bit upon what's gone on and how we've been dealing with this COVID-19?
Yeah, I think anytime we have a challenge like we have now, I don't like the word challenge, I like opportunity. We're really finding out what we're made of. We're finding out every little process, every little step that we're doing. We are really looking into why are we doing that? Is that adding value to our team members? Is it adding value to our clients? If it's not, we're trying to do away with it. Time is so precious, especially during this pandemic that we're in. We're monitoring every aspect of the business. And time is a huge expense, cost, and that was one of the biggest items we're trying to watch and monitor heavily. So this has forced us to even be more diligent on value-added steps in the business. And if it's not adding value, we're trying to eliminate it. And we're trying to do it across the board.
Yeah, so two things. We switched at the first of the year from a different industry-specific software to Aspire. And the changes and the information that has provided us has really been amazing. And I said at the Aspire conference, and you and I have talked, that good managers make good decisions with good information. Speak a little bit to the type of information that you have at your fingertips now, and maybe talk to the morning rollout, because since COVID-19 hit us about 46, 47 days ago, our morning rollout, the change in the indirect time that we were wasting on that has been dramatic. Can you speak to the Aspires, what it's enabled us to do, and then specifically in the morning rollout, what we've changed there?
Yeah, with Aspire, what I love is we charge the morning load time on our design build decision to the job, but I like to call that is non-productive direct time. We're not producing work. It's not digging a hole, it's not edging a bed, it's not laying a yard of mulch. How can we squeeze that down? Aspire, if you're familiar with the software, knows at the end of the day how much time was actually not truly on the job. And then we started looking at those percentages and we were shocked. And yeah, there's going to be drive time on each job. And that's going to vary, but the one item we can control is how quick we get into the building and how quick we leave the south drive. And we're able to shave 15 to 20 minutes off our morning rollout. And that's just, COVID's kind of helped us do that because we've had a clock in procedure. So everybody lines up and they come in and right back out for a COVID safety tailgate meeting or a hustle up meeting every morning. So we were having a 5-minute huddle to set the tone for the day. And that 5 minutes has actually helped us shave off 15 to 20 minutes every single day for the trucks to roll out. So we're starting to see the benefit of our time on jobs coming in under, because that time is not being allocated to non-productive time in the mornings. And we're seeing that pay dividends on the speed at which we're getting projects completed at this point.
Yeah. How do you feel morale is? Did you get any pushback on this? What challenges did you have in implementing this and rolling all this time back?
I I personally didn't feel like we had any pushback, but then again, it's hard when Dalton and I were the only ones in running the limited production team that we had. You're the driver of the culture. You're the driver of the morale yourself. So sometimes it's hard to look at yourself
Yeah,
and
right.
see. But what we did is I was in the loader loading. Dalton was helping tarp trucks. He was helping load equipment, leading by example, showing them that we are serious about this and we're willing to do whatever it takes to bring this time down. And we're here to help remove roadblocks from their job to make it easier. And I think that's one of the big takeaways is we were able just to lead by example there.
So I think one of the things that many landscape pros that might be watching, I don't even like to define you as my right-hand man because you are running Grunder Landscaping Company. If I have a right-hand man, it's you. Dalton is your right-hand man. Who is Dalton? And just briefly say what he does for you.
So Dalton is our director of design build, and he is the liaison between our designers and our production operations managers. So he has a great pulse on every moving part in the business. When a prospect calls in, he has a gauge on who's taking that as a designer through the whole design process. He does the double checks on all our bids. So when they actually go out to production, he has a very thorough understanding of our projects, our properties. So he's seeing it at a very detailed level of everything we do inside of Grunder Landscaping, which helps me paint the vision and manage the higher level of where the company's going. Then he takes it and then digests it down further into an actionable plan.
And Dalton's a young man. He's 29 years old, right?
Yeah, 29. Seems a
And
lot older, very mature.
he sure does. And so I just share that because when you took over the general manager role in January of 2018, you thought he could do this. And I'll be honest, I was a little apprehensive of it, not because I didn't like him or anything. He's just so young. And so for everyone watching this, I think we got to let go some of that. We think that because somebody's so young, that how could they possibly do a job? And he's done a great job, and he's fun to work with. He's a personable young man, and thank God we have him helping you.
Yeah, he wanted the job, which is the big thing. He was hungry for it, and if someone's hungry for it and you're able to mentor and coach, most likely they'll succeed. They'll make mistakes and there'll be some setbacks, but if you're truly mentoring and they're hungry, more power to them to go after it.
Well, Seth, thanks for joining us. We're going to be back in a couple days with part 2, where we're going to talk a little bit more about business in Ohio and how we're trying to get caught up. Thanks for your time.
Yep. Thanks, Marty.